The genesis of trust in cloud, the final expansion, and part 5. Welcome to my podcast. This is Dr. Sanjay Ved. The journey to the cloud was not a smooth one. It was a journey which was fraught with perils, a journey that was marked by a series of high profile security breaches that shook the industry to its core. There were not just technical failures, there were failures of imagination, failures of leadership, and failures of trust. Let's take a closer look at some of these early cloud security disasters to understand the lesson we learned and the lessons that we are still learning till date. Our first stop is the year 2000. The dot-com bubble is at its peak. The internet is a brave new world full of promises and perils. And a new type of threat is emerging, the denial of service attack. In February of 2000, a 15-year-old Canadian hacker who went by the name of Mafia Boy launched a series of massive denial of services attacks against some of the biggest websites in the world, including Yahoo, Amazon, eBay. The attack brought the sites to their knees for hours, causing an estimated $1.2 billion in damages. This was a wake up call for the entire industry. It was a demonstration of power of a single individual to cause a widespread chaos and disruption, and it was sign of things to come. The Mafia Boy attack was a very classic example of a distributed denial of service or DDoS attack. The attacker used a network of compromised computers or bots to flood a targeted website with so much traffic that it became overwhelmed and unable to respond to legitimate requests. It's digital equivalent of a massive traffic jam. And it's a threat that still looms large on us today as well. But the Mafia Boy attack was just the beginning. The early 2000s were a golden age for cybercrime. The internet was lawless, a frontier where there were bad guys having the field day. There was the I Love You worm in 2000, which spread through email and caused an estimated $10 billion of damages. There was the Code Red worm of 2000, which infected hundreds of thousands of computers in a matter of hours. And then there was the Nimda worm, also in 2001, which was one of the most sophisticated and destructive worms ever created. There were so many targets that were attacks. There were digital pandemics spreading across the globe with terrifying speed, and there were a reminder of the fragility of the interconnected world and the urgent need for a new approach to security. It was this climate of uncertainty that the concept of cloud computing began to emerge. The idea of outsourcing your IT infra to a third party provider was a radical one. But it was a compelling one. It was promised to reduce cost, to increase agility, and to free up organization focus on core business. But the question of trust loomed large. How could you entrust your sensitive data to a third party provider when the internet was a dangerous and an unpredicted place itself? And how could you have been sure that your data was safe and that it would be secure and it would be there when you needed it? This was a challenge that the early cloud provider faced, and it was a challenge that they struggled to overcome. The lack of transparency, the lack of standard, the lack of common language was for security issue, all conspired to creating a climate of fear and uncertainty and doubt. The creation of Cloud Alliance and the STAR program was a turning point in recognizing that only way to build trust was through collective industry-wide effort, and it was a recognition that we were all in this together. We needed to work together to make the cloud a safer place. And so the journey began, a journey to create a standard of trust in the cloud, a journey to build more secure and resilient digital world, and a journey to continue and ensure that the cloud is safe and secure for use. As we move forward, we further look at the story of cloud, the story of evolution. It's the story of how, as an industry, we have learned from our mistakes and how we have built a more secure, resilient world. But it's also a story of adversaries who have evolved, how they have become more sophisticated, more organized, and more lethal and dangerous. Let's take a closer look at the evolution of this threat landscape. From the early days, the internet was having its own challenges. Our first stop is the 90s. The internet is a new and exciting place, and it's also dangerous one. The threat landscape is dominated by amateur hackers who are motivated by curiosity rather than money itself. They're bragging the rights by desire to cause mischief. The attacks are relatively simple and their tools are primitive, but they are also signs of things to come. Next, we move into 2000s, the dot-com bubble that has the burst, and the internet is more important than ever, and the threat landscape is evolving. The amateur hackers are being replaced by organized criminal mafia who are motivated by money. They are using more sophisticated tools and techniques. They are targeting businesses and individuals, and a new level of professionalism has set in from the attacker's perspective. This is the era of phishing attacks, the keyloggers, the botnet. It's the era of large-scale data breach, of identity theft, financial frauds. It's the era when we, as an industry, finally started to take security seriously. Now we move into 2010s. The cloud is mainstream phenomena, and the threat landscape is evolving. Once again, the organized crime gangs are being joined by national actors, state-sponsored actors who are motivated by espionage, by sabotage, by desire to project their power in the digital world. The era of advanced persistent threat, or APTs. It is the era of long-term sophisticated campaigns that are designed to steal intellectual property, to disrupt critical infrastructure, to influence public opinion. It's the era of stuckness, of flame, of the opium breach. It's the era when we realize that we are in a new kind of war, a war that was being fought in the shadows of the digital world. And now we arrive at the present. The threat landscape is more complex, more dangerous, and than ever before. We are facing a perfect storm of threat for sophistication led by state actors, nations, ruthless criminal gangs, to lone wolf attackers with grudges, and they are using a wide range of tools and techniques, from AI powered attacks to old school social engineering, and they are targeting every aspect of digital life, from your personal data to critical infrastructure. And this is the world of Cloud Security Alliance, where it was born, the world that the STAR program was designed to address. And this is the world that we must all work together to secure. As we move forward, we need to look and deeper into the technical controls under CCM. And we should look at how Cyrus Cloud Service, which is a fictitious company we have built, is implementing that. We start to look closer into the aspects of identity management. That's our next episode as we look forward and go into the episode 2 of this podcast.